straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hi, I'm Rupha Ramani and you're watching Firstpost. Let's get started. Now, it's a power-packed show heading your way today. Sports gives birth to the biggest stars. We've always seen it. The fabric is such. The roadblocks, the losses, the pain, anguish, it all leads to moments that become historical, as inspiration for generations that follow. Like Sarfaraz Khan, who fell off the card because of his own inner demons, but fought back to make an emotional debut for the Indian side. Watched on by a teary-eyed father and coach. And then there are mega stars for whom the pitch the sport offers is not enough. They want to stamp their class on the world, and being great is not enough. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, who throws away a silver medal because he only wants gold and then pockets the most number of wins by any footballer. Then there is Rohit Sharma, who's set to lead the Indian team at the T20 World Cup and back that up with a super century. But where that is celebration and triumph, there is also grief and sadness, as many witnessed while cheering Super Bowl winners Kansas City Chiefs. The gunshot violence on the sidelines makes us talk about the dark side to sporting events. But before all of that, let's take a look at the headlines in the world of sports on Sports 360. We'll start with football, and the Champions League. Lazio beat Bayern Munich 1-0 last night. Striker Harry Kane missed an opportunity in the 6th minute. In the 65th minute, Bayern were reduced to 10 players. Lazio's Ciro Immobile scored on the penalty to seal the win. In another game, Paris Saint-Germain beat Real Sociedad 2-0. Over in tennis, Rafa Nadal has pulled out of the Qatar Open. The Spaniard says he wants to prepare for the upcoming Olympics in France. Nadal says he doesn't want to overwork his body just yet. This year, 37-year-old Nadal made a comeback to the sport after being sidelined all of 2023 with a hip injury. Over in the women's world number one, Iga Świątek has advanced to the Qatar Open quarterfinal. Poland's Świątek beat Russia's Ekaterina Alexandrova 6-1, 6-4 in straight sets. The match lasted 1 hour and 30 minutes. Świątek next faces Russia's Victoria Azarenka. In badminton, the Indian women's team beat China 3-2 at the Asia Team Championships last night. India's PV Sindhu made a strong comeback to court after being away for over 4 months due to an injury. Sindhu beat China's Han Yu 21-17, 21-15 in just 40 minutes. Anmol Karab and the duo of Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand won the other 2 matches. And rounding off with cricket, Sri Lanka beat Afghanistan by 7 wickets in an ODI match. Afghanistan batted first and were bowled out for 266. Rahmat Shah and Azmatullah Omarzai scored half centuries. Sri Lanka comfortably chased down the target in the 35th over itself. Pathum Nissanka scored 118 runs. Sri Lanka swept the ODI series 3-0. Ecstasy, joy, sorrow and grief, 2 opposite emotions. No way they can coincide and come together in one moment. Just 3 days ago, Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL or National Football League team, won the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Kansas City erupted in joy. It was their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes helped the Chiefs to a famous victory. No bigger feeling, no bigger emotion than pure jubilation. There was a festive atmosphere in the Missouri city. Fans going crazy over the victory, the team still fresh from all the glory. Everyone in celebration mode. The media was carrying every bit of the win. Players expressing their emotions. The mood was upbeat till yesterday. The festivities were short-lived. It's Wednesday and Kansas City was cheering on their fans who'd just come back from the win. The Chiefs had their victory parade around 3 p.m. local time. Thousands of fans had gathered to celebrate the Chiefs. That's when it happened. Gunfire erupted near a parking garage close to the station. This is the spot where the rally was being held. The starting point, in fact. It is reported that 1 person was killed and about 21 were injured, 8 of those children. The city police has confirmed that 7 of the 21 casualties are in critical condition. The Chiefs only intended to celebrate their triumph with the fans. But while the team and the city only had celebration on their minds, some people had other ideas. In fact, amid all the chaos, certain brave fans even tackled and restrained a man suspected of being involved in the shooting. So far, 3 people have been detained in connection with the shooting, but there is a possibility that more were involved, who are still out at large. Now, during the Chiefs' victory rally, not many would have imagined what lay ahead, what was about to follow. Everyone was all smiles, the spirits were high. Even the star of the Super Bowl triumph, Patrick Mahomes, was speaking of the magnitude of the win during the parade, right before the attack. Little did he know what mayhem would come right after this.
Kansas City, let me hear you one time! Man, what a year! To battle through the adversity, to continue to go for that championship. They all doubted us. I don't want to hear any different. But you know who came through in the end. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. I just want to thank everybody here because Chiefs Kingdom, y'all are the reason that we do what we do.
It's hard to imagine that the mood went from that there to what it ended up being. While the champion was thanking the city, sharing his happiness with the people, the fans, he was not expecting anything to go wrong. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes and other Chiefs players mourned over the tragedy. They expressed their condolences via their respective social media handles. The team also issued a statement after the attack and confirmed that the players and coaching staff were in fact all safe.
We are truly saddened by this senseless act of violence that occurred. Our hearts go out to the victims, their families, and all of Kansas City. We are in close communication with the mayor's office as well as the Kansas City Police Department. At this time, we have confirmed that all of our players, coaches, staff, and their families are safe and accounted for.
Now, this isn't the first instance of a celebratory moment being marred by an act of violence. The Wednesday shooting was just the latest example of violence erupting during sporting celebrations. Back in June 2016, in fact, during Cleveland Cavaliers' NBA or National Basketball Association championship, a person was shot twice in the leg and received injuries. Luckily, the injuries weren't life-threatening. In 2019, 4 people were shot and wounded at a downtown Toronto rally for the NBA champion Raptors. And in 2023, a shooting took place after Denver Nuggets championship parade. What these instances say is that it's easy for people to target these mass celebration moments. And another common factor, of course, is America. Most of the recent instances of shooting took place in the USA. Reflecting on the same, US President Joe Biden said, and I quote, "Today's events should move US, shock US, shame us into what else we need to do to see how many more families need to be torn apart." Vice President Kamala Harris also reflected on the probing issue of gun violence that's rampant.
Today was supposed to be a day of celebration for a community of people to come together. You know, gun violence is the #1 cause of death for the children of America. And the reality of it is a lot of this can be prevented if members of legislatures, including the United States Congress, just have the courage to act with reasonable gun safety laws.
Now, the issue of gun laws is horrifying and a battle that the country has been raging on for years now, but that's for something else another time. We speak about sporting moments bringing people together, bringing people across borders, languages to celebrate, and certain minds wanting to choose those moments to create chaos, mayhem, and draw bloodshed. In fact, there have been many instances in the past of sporting events being interrupted and marred by violence. In 1972, 11 members of Israel's Olympic team were killed in September at the Summer Olympic Games in Munich. If it was guns in 1972, it was a bomb explosion in the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. A bomb exploded at the Olympic Park that killed 1 person and injured 100 others. The football world has not escaped such happenings either. In 2002, hours before a Champions League game between Barcelona and Real Madrid, a bomb exploded near the venue. 17 people were injured. And somewhere, violence finds its place in sport. It is ultimately an expression of passionate emotions. Not many times it is not planned like these mass attacks. It's a moment that leads to something tragic and irrevocable. two instances, of course, come to mind, both equally shattering. One, in football, the craze of the sport in Colombia is unmatched for. Andre Escobar ended up scoring an own goal in the 1994 FIFA World Cup. That resulted in Colombia getting eliminated. Anger amongst fans was sky high. Escobar was shot dead by a Colombian fan right after that match. Monica Seles, a 9-time Grand Slam winner, was a massive competitor to Steffi Graf. In 1993, Seles had beaten Graf in the Australian Open final. A German fan who was obsessed with Graf ended up stabbing Monica Seles. That led to her depression, and she wasn't the same player thereafter. Now, sports always brings out the most raw emotions in everyone, and it absolutely is heart-wrenching when the emotions get the better of well thought out, sane actions. The word is out as far as Indian cricket is concerned, at least for this year. Rohit Sharma is the captain, and as far as cricket is concerned, this year is the year of the T20 World Cup. All the top brass of cricket administration, in fact, in India were assembled in the city of Rajkot. They were naming the stadium after one of the state's biggest administrators, Niranjan Shah, and on the sidelines of it came the board's statement.
2023 में अहमदाबाद में लगातार 10 मैच की जीत के बाद भले ही हमने वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जीता, लेकिन हमने दिल जीता। लेकिन मैं आपको एक प्रॉमिस करना चाहता हूं कि रोहित शर्मा की कप्तानी में 2024 में बारबाडोस में हम जरूर भारत का झंडा गाड़ेंगे। जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय जय गरवी गुजरात।
Jay Shah, the secretary of the BCCI, very casually saying, as if it was not intentional at all, that Rohit Sharma was indeed going to lead India at the T20 World Cup. We're going to decode this in just a bit. What does this mean for Indian cricket? Is it a step in the right direction? But what this did is surely give some relief, some sense of assurance to Rohit Sharma, who has had a very, very tough last few months. It was evident because at day one of the third test, with the Indian top order back in the pavilion and the batting struggling, Rohit Sharma stood tall. He was given a chance, a lifeline, when only having scored 20 runs, but did not look back ever since. He's been confident out in the middle and went on to score a century on day one, 131 runs to be exact. So clearly this announcement was timely. Rohit's well-being is linked to the test team's well-being. He is the senior most in that setup now. And the board also declared Hardik Pandya as the vice-captain. So maybe another indication that he's the man for the future as far as the shorter formats are concerned. And it's a formal handing over at the T20 World Cup. So let's get down to the decision itself. Rohit as skipper at the T20 World Cup, there are two aspects to this decision: his role as an opening batter and of course his role as a captain. As a batter, there's no question of anyone really replacing Rohit Sharma at the top. He still has it. He's fiery, selfless, ruthless with the bat. We saw that during the World Cup in 2023. He had a fabulous stint with the bat. He set the tone at every match. A strike rate of more than 125 and averaging more than 54. He took the attack to the opposition and he looked dangerously magnificent. Now imagine that in a T20 setup. It's fair to say that no one can quite match up to Rohit's flamboyance at the top of the order. There is no replacement. Now let's look at the captaincy aspect. So yes, even though India faltered in the final against Australia, Rohit did lead a very good campaign. They came closest to winning an ICC World Cup for the first time since 2011. Now the team knows his style well. He has a way about him. There is a knack. Then they're aware of the way Rohit functions, and they can really rally around him. But for a board that is looking at guys like Rajat Patidar, Dhruv Jurel, Sarfaraz Khan and the likes, basically youngsters to fill in the gaps in the test setup, why isn't the same being thought of in the captaincy role? Look to the future, like they said when they got Hardik Pandya to fast track, silently hinting that he was heir apparent. But here's the glitch: Hardik is not match ready, still has injury concerns. And then look at the, so to speak, future captaincy candidates. There's Shreyas Iyer, of course, who's out of faith at the moment. KL Rahul, again, there are injury concerns with him. There's Surya Kumar Yadav, and then, of course, there's the senior hand, Jasprit Bumrah. But by announcing Hardik as vice, the board seems to say that none of these players are ready to helm affairs. It's safe to also say that going by the options at hand, the only one that was safe and made sense logically with just months left is Rohit Sharma. You don't want to rock a boat any more than what an opposition would do anyway. So might as well go with the familiar, at least for now. The fact that the future prospects are not really living up to the faith or the opportunities presented, not ready just yet, does pose problems they don't want to have, like Ishan Kishan not playing domestic cricket even after being told to. So a youngster like Dhruv Jurel has got the nod as wicketkeeper for this third test. But no matter the experience, time is what's not in control, and there is very little of that to ensure key players in the lineup are rested, are fit, injury-free and also in form. So Rohit Sharma is only one of the many things the board had to finalize. Now that is out of the way, they know it's time to tackle the rest, which they will have to in just a few months. Now, the city in India that always gives just as much as it takes is Mumbai. For the uninitiated, it is a fast-paced city that always is on the move. No one rests. It is quite justly termed as the city in India that never sleeps. So rightfully, heroes emerge. If day one of the third test started with Rohit Sharma's resounding knock to announce that he remains India's T20 World Cup captain, then the end of the day honours would go to another Mumbai lad. Sure, Ravindra Jadeja's 100 was just as important, but Sarfaraz Khan's emotional debut was the story of day one. Sarfaraz made a 50 on debut. Sure, he got run out, but what a memorable script he has written. Showing all his critics there is a lot more where that came from.
Sarfaraz Khan lifting his bat to celebrate his first 50 in whites for India on his debut. It was not a sedate knock. His half-century was peppered with 9 fours and a 6 too. He ended up getting run out by Mark Wood, who also had a great day. But this knock will be special for more reasons than one. There were many moments that stood out on the day. The 200s, Mark Wood's carnage at the start of the day. But the most endearing image that would stay will be two youngsters receiving their test caps from legendary Anil Kumble and getting emotional. Sarfaraz's father, someone who has always been a pillar of strength for his son, was in tears. His mother too, just as emotional. The parents came over to catch a glimpse of the elusive cap that Sarfaraz clutched at. And the sweetest gesture was Sarfaraz wiping off the tears rolling down his mother's cheeks. A moment that will remain forever. In fact, after the call-up, Sarfaraz said, "I would get emotional and have tears thinking about my wait to get into the team. My father always kept saying, you keep working hard and no one would be able to stop you. I'm more happy for my father. It's a proud feeling that I'm part of the national team from a country that has a big population." Clearly, we know how much this meant for Sarfaraz Khan. He says he was all but ready to join the state domestic team for the tournament when he got the test call-up. Sarfaraz has forever been on the sidelines of the national squads. He burst onto the scene as a talented child prodigy. Even got picked up by the IPL franchise Bengaluru. But soon, lots of issues with his temperament, his fitness and inconsistency meant Sarfaraz was pushed out and had to work his way back from square one. There was another debut though, his father Naushad Khan in the commentary box, and he was philosophical while watching his son bat, saying there is darkness and it takes a while for the night to pass, but the sun will rise, there will always be light. Also referring to the very dark and low phase that his son went through these past few years.
My father wasn't coming to the ground initially, but some people requested him and he came to witness this special moment. I feel some burden is off my shoulders now, that I haven't let my father's efforts go to waste.
This is certainly not the best knock that will get everyone knocking on Sarfaraz's door, but it has certainly been an answer to all his critics, and maybe one to himself too, that he still has the grit and talent to survive and fight his way back to the top where he feels he belongs.
Cristiano Ronaldo, a name that transcends emotions, a name that reflects hard work and passion, a name that redefined football ever since his arrival to the circuit in 2002. Now, over 2 decades, the Portuguese has been relentless. No matter the consequences or the love or even the hate that he receives, standing at the top with the greats, giving his 100% every day that he steps onto the field. And of course, in the Champions League, yes, Champions League, don't get confused, he's not returning to Europe anytime soon. And I'm not talking about the UEFA Champions League. This time, he has showcased his skills in the Asian or the AFC Champions League. Al Nassr beat Al Fayha 1-0 in their AFC Champions League encounter yesterday. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the only goal of the game. This was Ronaldo's 21st goal of the season and 4th in the AFC Champions League. This wasn't the only highlight though. The game versus Al Fayha was Ronaldo's 1000th club match in his glittery career. That's massive. That reflects on one long and robust career. At 39 years of age, Ronaldo is in no mood to slow down, and the numbers don't lie. They just show he's like wine, only gets better with age. And as he keeps going on, the bar to perform is higher. He keeps pushing the boundaries and never shies away from accepting that. Just over a month ago, Cristiano Ronaldo had this to say about himself.
I like when the people doubt about me, and I prove again that 1 year with successful. I had last year a little bit difficult journey, but I'm glad that things happened because make me feel more strong. And you can see this year I did a fantastic season. I was the best goal scorer. Imagine to beat that animals, the young lions like Haaland, for example, with the goals. So I'm proud. I'm 39 soon, and I'm still looking good. So I'm proud.
Well, he certainly has it in him to beat the young guns even at this age. Just to get back to some of the numbers we mentioned earlier and delve a little deeper, Cristiano Ronaldo has appeared in 1,000 games and scored 746 goals in addition to 214 assists. This, of course, as far as his club career goes. This is historic. Numbers plate. And guess what? That win last night marked his 796th win in his career, the most registered by a single player. And it doesn't stop here. He has a trophy cabinet to back it all. Ronaldo has won 5 Champions League titles, a European Championship title, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, 4 Club World Cup and 3 FIFA Men's Player Awards. 5 UEFA Champions League. Yes, that's the reason why he is often regarded as one of the best in the tournament. It's like the tournament was tailor-made for him. And so when Ronaldo took the field for Al Nassr in the Asian Champions League, fans started drawing the comparison from the past, and Ronaldo didn't disappoint. His zeal for the tournament continued even in Asia. With so much to his name, the star still doesn't give up being the second best, and certainly not in his sights. You don't need further evidence to support what I'm saying than one incident that happened just some days ago. Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr lost to Al Hilal 2-0 in the Riyadh Season Cup. Following the same, Al Nassr players were given a silver medal. Clearly, Ronaldo was not pleased with this. After the loss, many fans started calling him out. Ronaldo, already disappointed by the loss, threw his silver medal into the stands. Fans, of course, were thrilled. That's some memorabilia to take back home that they would cherish forever. But Ronaldo wanted gold, plain and simple. He has no place for things that are second best, an ode to his elite mentality of never settling. His demeanor since moving away from Europe to playing for Saudi Pro League has only been one of never stopping and never redefining the sport or his own trajectory, and only getting better, faster and winning more. And this little episode reiterates just that. And we've come to the end of the show. Time for last serve. Even as speculations and rumors around who will replace Lewis Hamilton continues in the Formula One circuit, the other constructors are busy getting ready for the season coming up. McLaren unveiled their new ride, MCL 38. Here's a sneak peek. Orange definitely has a sheen to it, but that does it here on Firstpost. I hope you enjoyed this today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, of course, bye-bye.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on First Post America.